Sometimes when you're at home and you need a mitre box, you need to cut mitres for something like a picture frame, some beading in the inside of a bottom of a cupboard, something like that. It's very easy to run out and buy one. It's easy to run to the chop saw, make your chop saw cut. But this is a very effective way of getting you ready to work. And all I've got is 2 pieces of 1 by 3, which is actually 3/4 of an inch by 2 3/4, but it could be any size of wood you want it to be. What we're going to do is very quickly make a mitre box. And this is how I make mine. Every time I do a job, I pick up a piece of wood like this, knife wall here, right on the 45. So this needs to be dead on that 45. It's critical. A knife wall, 2 or 3 deep cuts like this, one going the opposite way. Let me see there. Anywhere in the length of the wood, it doesn't really matter. Just work accurately right into the corner, like that. Now we're going to make a little step down in there on both of those. So just take a wider chisel like this, cut into it so your saw drops way down into it against the knife wall, and that slope will push the saw into the knife wall as well. So what I'm going to do is put a pencil line on your side so you can see what I'm doing here, like this, just a guide really, just so you can see where I'm going. And on this side, I'm going to go here. And I've got to be exactly on that line. Now, I'm going to go down. This is my material that I'm cutting my picture frame from, or my beading from. I want to go down far enough to leave a little bit above. So I'm going to leave 1/2 an inch or so above, about 12 millimeters above the frame, and then just make a mark here. Now, you could just use your finger and run the gauge line like that, or you could set a marking gauge like this, just to make sure that you are parallel to the edge like this, and run a gauge line along the edge to guide you for your cut. So there is my line there, and this piece is going to go here in a minute. So I'm going to cut down those knife walls now. Now I've got a fairly fine saw here. It's a gent saw, but any tenon saw will work. So I go right into the corner. Now, I don't know if you can see here. When I've got my saw against the wall here, I put my 2 fingers right up against the side of the saw, and I push with the back of my nails to keep it tight up against the wall and push. If I can. So now I'm in. I've taken 3 or 4 strokes. Just stop yourself there, because now the most important thing is I go down the line perpendicular. I want to be dead on the line. So I start to drop my hand here almost immediately with each cut, because I don't have to worry about the 45 degrees, because the kerf is going to keep me in place. Loose hand, loose arm. Follow the knife wall. Only because I want to get as close to 45 as I possibly can. This side here, not so easy to get my fingers on this side, so I'm going more carefully, keeping my saw dead tight up against the knife wall, so there's no gap, no margin at all. And I'm dropping my hand. I'm coming back up because it's just straying a little bit. Just use the side of my teeth just to correct my saw. Down to just beyond the line that I marked. Can you see? I just went past the line just a little bit, because I'm actually going to cut into this seat piece here. The next bit is so simple, this bit here. You could glue this, make it more permanently attached, but this actually, I think I'll defy you to get this apart. Double-sided tape does work just about as perfectly as anything for for this. Just about as good as anything I can think of. Lift this off. I'm going to go with a second piece. And it's so thin I can go over the top of the other without worrying. This is very effective, and this will get you the accuracy you need. You won't get this accuracy using a bought mitre box. They just don't come that accurately. They're too sloppy. Now what I have done is I've checked this for square on here so that my piece isn't slanting away. In other words, I custom made the piece. I've got a little bit of a shaving in there. So line this up here with your gauge line. Work accurately, and then your mitres will come out very close to being ready to put together. Clamp it in the vise like that, and that's how you make a homemade mitre box that will get you in the zone straight away. And there you can see it's together. Just made a little step there. I can put another mitre box on this side. When this does wear, and they do wear, I can use this side and make another one. So there is my mitre box. Here's my stick of wood. The nice thing is this fits the curve perfectly with just enough friction. So I'm going to go here. And with a light pass with the saw, light strokes, you end up with a very, very pristine mitre. So there you can see, let me just turn this so you can see. There you have a perfect mitre, and I think that's ready to go actually. I probably wouldn't even have to shoot this on a shooting board. Beautiful, simple and effective.